Hi everyone, welcome to another video from this fun clothing page. We have this t-shirt with an apple on. I think it's really cool. I'm not really sure what colour to do the actual t-shirt. I thought if we start with the apple and then that'll give me some ideas. So I'm going to do a red apple. I think a red shiny apple is really looks very cool. It's very attractive and fun. So I'm going to start with my Venetian red. I've only got 4 reds. This one is a bit pale, but I thought if I start with a paler one and sort of build up a few layers, it might just work. So we'll see. I actually quite like that colour, but it depends what colour apple you want. A whole red apple, it's quite rare. It's usually, what do they call them? Something lady? Is it a red lady maybe? I'm trying to think. You have these really bright red ones, but they're a bit more almost slightly purpley. And they have a bit of white dotting on them, which would work on this paper. You know, got a bit of tooth showing through. But I think printed on a t-shirt, it would be quite solid. But I'm just sort of getting quite a good layer down. And then I'm going to get a darker red. Which one should I use? What's that one? I'll try the cadmium red. I have a feeling it's a little bit pinky, so it might work with what I'm thinking. Is it Red Lady? No, is it Red Delicious? Oh, I don't know now. So this one's going on top. Now you could put a bit of shading on your apple. We've got this shine that's drawn on for us by Johanna. But I'm thinking that if it's printed on a t-shirt, unless it's sort of a photograph, it would probably be quite simple and basic. So I don't know whether putting a darker area on it is going to really look right. I think it depends how basic you want the t-shirt to be. If it's like a kid's t-shirt, I think it would be quite straightforward. So I think I might just leave it like that. I'll have a think as I colour, but I may just leave it really simple. Now we've got our apple stem and leaf. I think I'm going to start the stem with the chrome green. It's quite a olivey green. I'm not sure whether I want the stem to be brown or green. I think brown is a bit, I don't know, maybe not so attractive on a kid's jumper, a t-shirt. That's what I'm thinking. And then I'm going to do the leaf partly. It's a very noisy train. I don't know if you heard the horn. Yeah, as I've explained before, we've got a crossing on by us. It's a pedestrian one only, so there's no barrier. So you just have to wait, and there is a light on there, like a traffic light, to tell you when it's safe to cross, I think. But the trains always have to sound their horn. There's a sign, just so that in case anyone's thinking of crossing, they're like, oi. Now, on the edges of our t-shirt we have this sort of some trim. Now I can't decide whether to do that in red or green. It really depends on the colour I colour the t-shirt. I think I'm going to do it in green. I've got this green in my hand. This is still the cadmium green. I think it's a bit more of an attractive green colour than the chrome green, whatever it was we used. Yeah, the chrome green. I can't remember. It was only 2 minutes ago. Memory's fading. Now I was a bit worried yesterday. I was sort of saying, you know, I like to be ahead and blah blah. I don't want you to think that I'm sort of feeling anxious about videos and stuff. It's not that at all. I do really have fun. I just like to have them done in advance, really, and I want a day off from editing and things like that, which is all fine. It's okay. It's just nice sometimes. I also find that if I don't have a day off every so often, I sort of run out of new things to talk about. So it's nice to have a day off so that I can gather my thoughts and have something a bit different to say to you. Now I actually think that looks quite nice as a white t-shirt, to be honest, but I'm not going to colour it white because it looks a bit like I couldn't be bothered. And yeah, so we'll do it I'm thinking a really light green might work. That's what I'm going to do. So just sharpening my very lightest green, which is, I think it's leaf green light. It is. I'm good. I should be. I'm going to do a really light layer of this across the whole t-shirt. You can see it's quite pale because I want to add in a few other colours, other shades of green to sort of give it some shading, really, some shadow, well, you know, where it wouldn't be completely flat. But we'll get this down so we can just see where we're at. You know, how I've sort of shaped the other clothing. I want to do that. So we'll keep that by because that's not my final layer. But I'll grab the leaf green middle, which also needs a bit of a sharpen, and do some of the darker areas, and you'll see what I mean. So here's leaf green middle. Now I'm thinking inside the sleeve, particularly here, would be darker. Like that, unless it was lined with something different, but t-shirts don't tend to be, and that's what I'm thinking this is. I'm thinking the edges might be a little bit darker. That's what we've done with our others. Not hugely so, but just bring it in a tad like that, and then here, particularly there, and down the side like this. It looks a little bit odd at the minute, I say to myself. Don't worry, I say to myself, it'll come. Right, leaf green light now. So I'm going to go over these areas and just you know, add a bit more colour to the whole thing. Hopefully it'll just make it look a little less odd. It doesn't look like there's any green on the middle of this sleeve at all. A little odd. Slack of me. So I'm just going to bring that into the middle and just fade it as I go. Like that. I'm not really sure what to do up here. Need to bring it up a little bit from there. Let's put a bit there. Quite a harsh line there, and try and blend it out a bit. That's better. Same here. So we want to have a covering of green, but just some areas slightly darker than the rest. I think it's working. I'm going to go over the top of this a bit. It will darken it a little bit, but it will also make it the colour look more similar. Now you could use a colour other than green to do a little bit of shadow and shades. I'm going to do that. I'm thinking rather than black, a brown might work better for shadows on green. I'm going to use the dark brown, the burnt umber though, and very gently. I'm thinking perhaps under here, really lightly. I know light touch is quite difficult, it's hard for me as well. I'm basically having to concentrate, you can tell by the way I'm talking so slowly, and remembering not to press hard with every single stroke, and trying to basically just gently massage the paper with the very tip of the pencil, like that. I'm thinking I have a little bit under here as well. Maybe this is a sort of slightly sticky outy part which might create a bit of a shadow. I'm just going to put the smallest bit on the edge here. Now if you aren't very well practiced at doing light work, you might find this very difficult. I have had to learn it. It's taken me some time. I used to be very light touch. And no, I didn't. I used to have pencils which were very light, so I would press too hard, and I had to sort of train myself to press a little bit lighter. It's not easy, It just comes with time and practice. Now, my last thing I want to do, and I'm not sure if I can pull this off, is that on the apple, that white bit. I don't like the black line around it. So I'm going to try to erase it with my Jelly Roll 5. But I often find it very difficult to do this without going into the red and making the shine bit look way too big. So I'm going to be very careful, slow and gentle, which is completely alien to me. I think it's faded it, but it hasn't completely got rid of it. But I don't want to do more. If you use the thicker white, it could be too difficult. It might splodge out the sides. I also don't know if the red is bleed proof, so if I got it on the red it might go pink. So I'm just going to leave it there. I think that's fine for our little t-shirt. Yeah, as I said, I actually, looking at it now, still definitely preferred it when it was white. But I'm not intending to do a background on this page because we've just got lots of different items. So I needed to put some colour on it, but I think it's okay. I wouldn't wear it. Maybe someone might. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope the little one was good for you. We're I can't decide where to go tomorrow, whether to go down or back across. We'll see. You'll have to wait and see. I will too. But thank you so much for watching. Have a really lovely day and happy colouring.